Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Present.
Trustee Franklin.
Present.
Trustee Bolden.
Present.
Trustee Lewis.
Present.
Mayor Rudez.
Present, Madam Clerk.
And also present at this meeting is, would you please announce yourself?
Attorney Joe Miller.
When somebody announced for coming that this was coming, I was.
I was waiting on the manager to announce herself. Her
She's
phone's
not
on
in
mute.
yet. She's in transit.
I see her phone on the screen.
You see it?
Manager Beck Fulcom is in the meeting, but she's in transit on mute. She is in a call.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Let's do our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic
republic for which it
it
stands, one nation,
under God,
under God, indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice.
justice for all.
Before we move forward, I'm going to read our disclaimer. Pursuant to Governor Pritzker's Executive Order 2020-07, COVID-19 Executive Order number 5, which suspends the requirement of the Illinois Open Meetings Act requiring in-person attendance by members of a public body during the duration of the gubernatorial disaster proclamation. The members of the village board will not be physically present for the designated board meeting, but will instead be participating in the meeting through audio access using a virtual meeting platform. Public comments may be submitted in advance of the meeting to Village Clerk D. Jones at djones@university-park-il.com or by text message to 708-473-6201. All comments must be received by 5 p.m. the day before the meeting.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I received 3 public comments. They were received on August 23rd, 2021. I think they were expecting a second meeting in August, but I did let them know that during July and August, there's only one regularly scheduled board meeting. Okay. I'll read them in the order received. The first one comes from Vivian Covington. It was received August 23rd, 2021 at 4:05 p.m. And it reads as follows. Good evening, Clerk Jones. I am still amazed that the residents are not given access to village virtual meetings. However, I will submit this question, concern via a email read at the meeting on Tuesday, August 24th, 2021. At the last meeting, there was supposed to be a public hearing and afterwards a regular board meeting on August 10th, 2021. The village manager stated there was no need for the project that is in construction on Cicero to have been processed through the Planning Commission. Quote, I would like for her to share what documentation she received that omitted their participation in this new construction. Seeing how they are mandated by state to use specific standards to progress projects for various reasons, such as inspections, zoning, and federally regulated laws approved by the state. Thank you in advance for your time and attention. The second one came from Deborah Taylor. It was received August 23rd, 2021 at 4:28 p.m. It reads, good evening, board. This question is actually directed to the village manager regarding a comment she made at the last board meeting on Zoom. Let me paraphrase her comment. She said that she has more of a heart for this village than most of the people that live here. I would like her to explain or elaborate. Also, if she really has a heart for the village, maybe that does not include me, because I have waited approximately 7, maybe 8 days for her to call me back. What's up with that? Of course, by the way, I have checked my phone messages. Thank you. The third one is from Gina Williams, received August 23rd, 2021 at 5:00 p.m. Good evening, all. I would like a response from all the trustees who voted yes to Carvana. I would like to know when you were informed about them, meaning Miss E and Rudez, bringing this so-called gumball machine, car vending machine to our village. What would make you vote yes, knowing full well there was no legitimate public hearing and no involvement with the stakeholders? Why would this be allowed to happen on our front lawn? There are plenty of car dealerships in Matteson and surrounding suburbs. We needed this like a hole in the head. Maybe all of y'all need to take a trip down the yellow brick road. Someone obviously needs a brain. Also, why is it the last 3 events were not advertised? The National Disgrace Night Out, the Hilarious House Party, hilarious because you had more vendors and DJs than people. But last but not least, the Back to School Parade. Again, a big no-show, few or 2 people present. School had already began and the community relations director sucks at her job, playing in dirt all day, never informing the residents of these events. It's always us 4 and no more. You, sir, have a failed administration, and dare I mention how you all did the flowers, shaking my head. That's it.
Awesome. Hey, Trustee Brooks. Okay.
Hey. Hello, everybody hear me?
Yes.
My apology, internet for acting up.
Stuff happens. Action item E, action item E1A, a resolution authorizing and approving a grant application pertaining to the OSLOD grants program. Is there a motion?
So move.
Moved by Trustee Franklin,
Second.
second by Trustee Bowden. Question?
Yes, question. Actually, is Miss E on here?
She hears you. She's on
Okay.
there.
I was just looking through the grant here. Let me get the page correct. I see here as the executive officer. I know Miss E said that she applied for the grant, but she has the mayor down as the executive officer, but then she has herself as a contact. And then they have the old address there. So, to my understanding, the village manager will be the executive officer on this. So I ask that we make a motion to correct that and make sure that that is correct, because that's 2. Actually, and even on the bottom, she has her signature on the bottom. So I make a motion that we correct that mistake and also add our new address on there.
Trustee Brooks, the manager will be the chief financial officer.
She's also the village manager is also the executive officer of the village.
No.
Yeah.
Mr. Brooks,
Where-
what was that on?
Yeah, what page are you referring to, Trustee Brooks? I'm sorry.
60.
That should be actually, wait a minute, hold on.
Is that page 60, Theo? Where it says 60 on that form. It's some pages back.
I'm going to the one that was in our Dropbox, so that would be one.
Oh, okay. I have my Dropbox open.
So that was page 60.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
not-
It's page 60.
Yeah, and I corrected that on my form. The address is,
Yeah, the address, and then it had,
yeah,
and it had the applicant is the applicant executive officer. And then as you go down, Miss E fills out she even signs the paperwork. But although we did, of course, naturally in a resolution that we do give the mayor the power to be the executive officer when it comes to signing paperwork, because it is in the resolution, but it's here on the paperwork itself. We need to make that correction because it's a conflict here the way we have it. Actually,
I thought it says what I have, Trustee Brooks has the mayor as the executive officer.
Well, then what is Miss E? You got her down here on page 64. Is she even signing it?
Oh, okay. I see. I was on page 60.
I was on 62,
Okay.
page 64.
So right.
Oh, that's just the certification. She's just certifying that all of the stuff in there is. That's
right.
Yeah, that's just the certification.
Right. But the addresses need to be corrected on everything, I believe.
Attorney Miller, even when we pass this resolution, the mayor would have the authorization to sign. My point is that as the application is being submitted, we don't have him like that. I'm just trying to make correct paperwork here.
Yeah,
Yes.
I understand. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to find out because I see page 64, and I don't consider 64 is just kind of, it's like the certification form. I mean, you could have the mayor sign it, but it's not like, that's not going to, for purposes like for going to court, for my purposes, like having Ernestine as a signature on that it's not a major thing. If the board wants to have it so that the mayor is completing the certification, that's fine. I don't think that's changing. I don't think that's in conflict with who you have as the with page 60 as the executive officer. But like I said, for my purposes, it's not a major thing. If that makes it easier for the board, however you guys want to do it.
Well, you know me, Mr. Mayor, I like paperwork to be right. You know, if someone comes to court with a speeding ticket, and if I don't write that mileage on there, you're going to ask that ticket to be tossed out, aren't you? Yes, sir. So no, I'm just saying, no, the mayor was still, when we, in the resolution, if you look in the resolution here, yes, he will still be the executive. I'm just asking that we make sure that we make that correction. That's all. And then that's all that I'm asking, that we make that correction. That's all. Because after we pass it, he would be the executive
Right.
to sign up on it.
Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear.
Yeah, because that's not right.
Make the mayor the executive or officer, or both the executive order officer and the signee of the document. Is that what you're saying?
No. Okay. Here we go, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
Here on the application, line 3. Miss E says that she applied for the grant, so on and so on. I have no problem whether it was her, which she said she did it. You have here the applicant executive officer, in which in our form of government would be the village manager. Now, it has on here also the applicant contact person. If the applicant contact person is the finance, or she's chief financial officer, which right now she is, until the board decides to do different, that information would remain the same. Now, after that, the point is that in every resolution, the board always grant the chair, who is the mayor, to be the executive officer when it comes to further documents, anything else, as is stipulated here inside the resolution. So my thing is that we had filled out, and apparently, I don't know, this has to be old because it has 698 Burnham Drive. So I'm just asking for the correction to be on there. There is no big deal, you know.
Trustee Brooks, this is consistent with the first application, and this is just the resubmittal of the application that we were ineligible for prior to. So things must stay consistent with the first application that was taken down to Springfield, since we're eligible to receive money again. That's all it is. It's resubmitting the prior application that was kicked out when we first got in office, when we didn't have the proper credentials, we didn't have the data form, we didn't have our audits, and we're not going to receive any money. So this is the exact same grant that we applied for. I think it was May in 2019. Is that right, Shirley? We went to Springfield.
2019, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's the
Which
exact same.
audits did they need?
Which
Because
one?
we were up to about 14, 15 before you and Shirley got in.
Hello, could I make a comment? I'm here now. Can I?
Oh, okay. There you go, Madam Village Manager. Madam Village Manager, I was just trying to clarify. I remember
Okay.
that you had made a statement publicly that you had applied for this. The mayor related that apparently you all have done this before. I was just
Okay.
trying to correction because, to my understanding, you are the executive officer of the village. Once passed the resolution that, you know, naturally, if there's any further documents, the mayor has, unless there's another resolution that we did on
Okay.
this, the mayor would be
Let-
absolutely correct on it.
Okay, first of all, my computer filled in the wrong, I'm glad you brought this up. My computer automatically does a fill in. So it did 698, and I didn't notice it after review and submission that it didn't have 44 Town Center. So I will make that correction. Thank you. But what I did, I called the state, I called DCEO to find out exactly how they wanted it. I couldn't sign both places. So they said that I should allow the mayor to sign as the executive officer. And since I am the contact person and would be administering the grant, I would be the counter signature. But when it comes to a resolution, then the mayor has to sign and the village clerk has to attest it. Now, that's what I did.
Correct. And okay, well, then that explains what we're looking at. So, okay.
Sorry for being late, guys, but I was driving
We know.
from there to here.
Okay. For the bids, Madam Village Manager, am I reading the right one here? The bids on the estimates, or am I reading this correctly? Did we have 4? Or am I reading another?
I think you're skipping ahead.
You're
Trustee
skipping
Brooks.
ahead now.
Okay, that's my brain. All right, I yield my time. So, yeah, so then that's correct, though. If then that's the case, in which I was correct, that once we pass it, of course, naturally, the mayor would be the executor and so forth to sign it. All right, Mr. Mayor, I yield my time. She answered my question. I wanted to make sure our paperwork was correct.
Yes.
So you're withdrawing your motion to table. I mean,
That's no. Yeah, no. If we can, right? So it won't make a difference as long as it's University Park, right? No big difference with the address.
Yeah, I'm going to change the address. The address is just on the proposal as being 698 because it was an autofill. So I'm going to have our IT person just to change it in my system. I didn't notice it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I withdraw that, Mayor, Madam Clerk. Mr. Mayor, I yield my time as I look for something to level my camera out.
Roll call, Madam Clerk. I'm sorry.
Trustee McFadden, Trustee McFadden? We're
Okay,
voting.
my volume is going slow, so that's why I'm a little slow to answer. Could you?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
this is to your vote on the resolution authorizing and approving the grant application
repeat?
pertaining to Auslan.
Vote aye.
Trustee Brooks,
Vote aye.
Trustee Jenkins Bell,
Vote aye for Regal Farm.
Trustee Franklin,
Both sides.
Trustee Bolden,
both sides.
Trustee Lewis,
Vote aye.
and Mayor Rudez.
Vote aye, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, that's resolution R 2021-20.
Item 1B, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of an agreement by and between the Village of University Park for construction group fire roof replacement fire station number 2. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Bolden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Lewis.
Quick question. Yes, Madam Village Manager, not Mayor, but Madam Village Manager. For this, can you run past the, did we get 3 bids on this?
No, as this is a replacement bid, we had to do a stop work on the contractor. So we went out for procurement, and based on our involvement and the nature of it under the provisions of emergency, we had to get 2 or more procurement bids, and it took forever because people were just bogged down. We finally got 2 bidders, and those were the 2 bidders, and I attached them to this bid.
So we couldn't find a 3rd one?
No, it took us maybe 2 months, a little over 2 months to get these 2. People were already in the construction season. They had advanced and nobody was available. It was just a godsend that we got these 2.
Now, let me ask this, Madam Village Manager, how soon are we, because I guess the greatest concern I have here is that those guys are in that trailer over there.
Yes.
Did we get any estimate of what we can do? Because this, I think you explained it last board meeting. What is it?
What this is, they're putting the roof up, and it's a unique skill because most roofers don't know how to install a metal roof, a steel roof, and that is a steel roof. And we had to get specific contractors that had a skill set to, and that's what we could have got roofers, but the problem is we couldn't find roofers that can put on steel roofs, and we got 2, and that's what it is. So these 2 roofers are skilled. They are skilled steel roofers and insulation. And once that is done and replaced, then we'll go downwards as it relates to mold remediation, window replacement for 9 yards. And when
how much money did we lose on? Did we lose any money dealing with this first group of people?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We lost approximately $11,000.
So we just caught it just in time.
Just in time. Just in time.
And we were only able to get bidders.
Yes, only able to get 2 bidders. And that was hard as heck to get 2 bidders.
So wait, can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Trustee.
So it's only 2 companies in the state of Illinois that does this.
No, ma'am, that's not what it is. You send out the procurements. And it's specified in terms of steel roofers, and we only received 2 bidders. We tried to call 21, but none of them were even interested in submitting anything. We had the engineers working on this. we tried to get bidders. Most people were working.
Are they unionized?
Yes, they are. And that's another thing. They had to be union, so.
Okay, the village received, okay, okay, correction. Arturo Group has tabulated the bids. The village received total of 5 bids from qualified contractors. Okay. Actually, Ms. D, you had 5, not 2.
But it's 2 that was in our price range, and those are the 2 I submitted to you.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand that now. Thank you. I was confused too.
Yeah, that's page 75. If
Right.
any of the trustees, yeah, that was page 75.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw it as well. I was just like, okay, well, I knew I thought I was looking at the wrong thing because you have a couple of things with
Nope.
contracts.
Right. Mr. Mayor, I yield my time.
Okay. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee McFadden,
She's got that delay.
Yeah, I'm delayed. I'm gonna switch to my tablet and get off.
Trustee McFadden, if you can vote on this issue, then switch.
Off of the computer because it's
Okay, Trustee
Okay.
McFadden, we're voting.
okay. Both sides.
Okay. Trustee Brooks,
Both sides.
Trustee Jenkins Bell,
Both sides.
Trustee Franklin,
Both sides.
Trustee Bolden,
Both sides.
Trustee Lewis,
Both sides.
Mayor Rudez.
Both sides, Madam Clerk.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, that's resolution 2021-21.
Item E1C, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement by and between the Village of University Park and the Illinois Department of Transportation. Is there a motion?
So move.
Moved by Brooks. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Lewis. Questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee McFadden,
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks,
Both sides.
Trustee Jenkins Bell,
Both sides.
Trustee Franklin,
Both sides.
Trustee Bolden,
Both sides.
Trustee Lewis,
Both sides.
Mayor Rudez.
Both sides, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, that's R 2021-22.
Item E1D, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an agreement by and between the Village of University Park and the Ontario Group LLC Stagger Rule Improvement Plan. Is there a motion?
So move.
Moved by Brooks. Second.
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 Second by Lewis. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
I'll start at the bottom. Trustee Lewis,
Both sides.
Trustee Bolden,
Both sides.
Trustee Franklin,
Both sides.
Trustee Jenkins Bell, Trustee Jenkins Bell,
She's
Trustee-
muted. She's muted.
Trustee Jenkins Bell,
She's having some issues with her mic. 1 second.
Yeah, today ain't a good day with the tablets. I don't know what's wrong.
Hey,
They're
it's the
slow.
internet, man. It's man-made
Slow.
stuff.
Yeah,
Hey, Trustee McFadden?
yeah, she's trying to talk even there. Yeah, it's best. I don't know what's wrong with today. Is bad computer day.
then let's hurry up and take care of this business.
Trustee
before
Lewis?
They all shut down.
Yes.
Would you read the proclamation when we come up next?
I didn't finish this roll call.
As we finish this roll call.
Trustee Brooks,
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden,
Both sides.
and
Okay.
Trustee Jenkins
Both
Bell.
sides. Both sides. Okay, it
Mr.
came.
Mayor, that's approved, and that's resolution R 2021-23.
Item E1A, a proclamation recognizing September 20th through September 26th, 2021 as National Rail Safety Week. Is there a motion?
So move.
I second it.
All right. Moved by Brooks, second by who? Who did the second? Trustee Lewis?
That's
McFadden.
McFadden.
McFadden. All right, trustee. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Brooks,
Votes aye.
trustee Jenkins Bell,
Votes aye.
trustee Franklin,
Both side.
trustee Bolden,
Both sides.
trustee Lewis,
Both sides.
trustee McFadden,
Both sides.
and Mayor Rudis.
Both sides.
Thank you.
Okay. Item E1F, appointments to the Board of Police and Fire and Finance Committee. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
trustee Lewis, second by
McFadden.
McFadden. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, very quickly.
Yes,
I got a question.
Actually, two things. With the Police and Fire Commission, I know you have, you actually, the board had made the appointment a long time ago. I think it's imperative that these members understand that the very same grant, and it was 25 years ago that I was sworn in to be a police officer. And the grant that Biden just so happened to bring back with us, we missed out that opportunity to get 5 officers. I don't know if the chief and the village manager has anything in their pocket, but Mr. Mayor, if we can actually get these members to up and going. And then I got one on the finance. I know that we've been trying to discuss the budget. When I talked to Trustee McFadden, it seems like really people that I thought you and I would probably be, show up at the meeting had not. And then, but then we got one, Miss Dilworth, who she's turning in, and I think she's like an alternate. So I think if someone is trying to be part of the, the community and want to be part of the commissions, I think it doesn't hurt to just go ahead and give them that opportunity if they're a 940 voting member or something. And because we kind of missing out on some opportunities and chances are being given, but no one's following up on the appointments. So, but this Police and Fire Commission, that's a big thing. That's a punch to us if we don't have something up our sleeve for them 5 officers.
Absolutely. Point well taken. Point well taken, trustee. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to start with trustee Jenkins Bell,
Votes no.
trustee Franklin,
Both side.
trustee Bolden,
Both sides.
trustee Lewis,
Both sides.
trustee McFadden,
Both sides.
trustee Brooks,
Votes no.
and Mayor Rudis.
Both sides.
Appointments are confirmed, Mr. Mayor. And, or either of the Fire and Police Commissioners attending this meeting by Zoom.
They may be. Neva? Neva? I don't know if she can.
I'm here. No, they are not attending at this time.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
then,
very much.
Mr. Mayor, if I could say, I would like to schedule an appointment with the commissioners as soon as possible so that I can.
Friday or Monday?
Monday is a holiday.
Okay. You want to do it, try to get it done before Friday?
Yeah, we could.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay, our last item on the agenda is a fantastic presentation. Item F1G, a presentation by the Terraco Group. Okay, Madam Clerk, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Part, okay.
I had not finished.
No, I'm sorry.
I think if it's something we've always done, I think it might be nice to announce the names of our appointees to the committees and commissions.
Okay, absolutely. The new members to the Finance Committee are Danny Seegers, Cassandra Clay. The members of the Police and Fire Commission are Lanny Brown and Edward Bradley.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Item F1G, a fantastic presentation for great opportunities by the Terraco Group. Ms. Jenkins, you may bring the group in as soon as you can, please.
They're on their way in.
Hey, Dan. Hi, Ms. Morski, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Fine, fine. Good to see you.
You as well. And hello, board. Hello,
Hello.
Madam Village Manager.
How are you guys?
Hello.
Hey, Dan, how are you, sir?
Excellent, excellent.
Good. All right. Let us know when you guys are ready, and we're waiting. We're just waiting on you guys.
All right.
How are you, attorney?
Yes, Dean.
Kowalski?
I'm great. How are you? Great to see you.
Great seeing you as well.
Madam Clerk, yes.
I was just going to ask the presenters to please pronounce their name and spell it so I can get it correct in the minutes.
Okay.
No problem. Okay, so my name is Dan Wander. So that's Wander is W-A-N-D-E-R. I'm one of the principals at Terraco Development, and we are the joint venture partners with the OM Group, who's represented tonight. I don't see him on the screen, but represented tonight by Kipesh Patel. And so we're very appreciative of the opportunity to be able to make this presentation to the trustees of University Park. We've been working with you guys for several months and received a lot of very good feedback on our project, and we're ready to sort of be able to take the next step and get some additional feedback and be able to present it to the trustees. So by way of introduction tonight, I have with me Tiffany Nelson Jaworski, who a number of you guys have said hello to. She's one of our attorneys at the Delgado Group. I also have Chris Kalashevsky, who's one of the principals at the WT Group. And he's our architect for this project. And I have, as I mentioned before a few minutes ago, Kipesh Patel, who is our partner on the travel center that we're doing here. And those are the presenters for tonight's presentation. So to start out, hopefully this works. If not, Neva can help me out on terms of our PowerPoint tonight. But so I can't share the screen, but Neva, can you share the PowerPoint with the group? And I can help walk everybody through it. There we go. There we go.
Can you see it okay?
Yep. So this is going to be sort of, the outline in terms of what we're going to do tonight. So the first thing is to do an introduction. We haven't done a project in University Park, but we've done many development projects throughout the Chicago area, and we're going to do that first, and then we will run through our site plan and our elevations, which is the project itself. And then we'll talk about where we're at in terms of users for the development. And then talk about fiscal impact, the positive fiscal impact for the community. And then we'll conclude and have any questions that any of the trustees would like to ask us this evening. So you can switch to the next slide. So as I talked about that before, my name is Dan Wander. I'm one of the principals of Terrico Real Estate Development. I've been with the company since 1999. Company has done over 6 million square feet worth of commercial projects, most of which have been in the Chicago market. We've worked with what I would consider sort of all of the major tenants from a retail perspective, including Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, Mariano's, Jewel. If you go to the next slide, we've got a couple of the highlights here that I wanted to talk about with you guys. And we are really immersed in what I would consider sort of all the more major areas of the Chicago market. The Trader Joe's that's up there was in Evanston. The Portillo's was in Skokie. The development to the south there, where we did a Target deal, was in Logan Square. And one of the projects that we just finished a couple of years ago that we're very proud of was we did a Jewel food store at 61st and Cottage in the Woodlawn Market. First new grocery store done in that market in over 50 years. And we're partners with Leon Walker on that development. And it's, sort of a welcome addition to that area. And in the city of Chicago, we've done a lot of work in what I would consider sort of more challenging areas where we did a Walmart 76 in Ashland. We did the first drive-through Starbucks at 71st and Stony, which was Magic Johnson Starbucks. So we've done a lot of work within the community where we've been able to build relationships and partnerships to be able to enhance really development in all those areas. Next slide. So the next slide is on the OM group. Kalpesh, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Kalpesh, you want to introduce your company?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Kalpesh Patel. I just want to give you a little background of my, we started as a Dunkin' Donut, and my father became a franchisee in 1986. We call him Danny Patel, everybody known by Danny Patel. My name is Kalpesh, and my brother Amit, which is, we started Om Group in 2006. He's also a full-time physician, doctor at Plusmar. He's practice at, and he's also helping me as a, financial side. So he's also, and I mostly take care of the operation. So basically, 70 gas station that I'm running in 14 states. So we have a brand like a Shell, BP, Sunoco, Mobil. We also are jobbers. So we also supply our own fuel for Sunoco and Chevron. We have a brand in Florida. We also have a QSR, over 60 locations. We have probably more than 60. We have Dunkin' Donut, Dairy Queen, Wingstop, Rosati's, and lot of others brand that we have in our portfolio. Do you want to jump to next page or? Yep. Okay. So, brand like these, we have a strong brand. We have a Mexican concept. We have all these brands. We have a tikka stick, which is like an Indian concept. Cousin Sir, we usually put it in the gas station. It's like a Jimmy John's. So we have over that. We have a Wingstop. Wingstop is a very popular brand. Everybody know Wingstop, and we do very, very well. They don't allow in the gas station, but we have a lot of location. We have over 19 locations right now. And all these brand has been a successful since, I've been working my first job was in Dunkin' Donuts. So I know fast food industry very well. Gas industry, I know very well as well, because I started such a young age. We know in and out, and we know how to take care of the customer. From, I took my first customer, I was 13, 14 year age. And I started working, helping my father. I was 12 year age. And, like stocking donut, roasting donut. I mean, I done everything from scratch off. So pretty much when you talk about the operation, we are very, very hands-on. And I develop the people. We have director of the operation. We have vice president of the company. We have a system in a place. So that's how we've been operating. And we are growing. We are so young, and we started in 2006. So we continue taking the next level and new path. We always look for the right opportunity and right growth. So that's what Home Group about. Right now, we have over 2,200 employees as of right now between all the brand, and we keep growing, we keep building, we keep growing. And as a being a partner with Terraco, they're such a successful in real estate, and we are hands-on growing them with them, and we are doing continue multiple project like this. And reason being because it's a success model, successfully operation, and we do very well. So we know how to do better than other competition, and we like clean environment. We also have a two spare people where we always do bathroom clean. Just we hire for just the bathroom. So make sure when customer walk in our gas station or trouble center, better be smells good and looks good and clean good. And and inventory, always we keep the full stock. We always pull out expired product. We always look when his operation goes, we look with the system and right product. So we always have that system that allow us to tell us, hey, this product is gonna get expired very soon. So we pull them out. So that's a good thing about the way we operate, and we know what it takes to build the business right and the people right with the training that we provide. So that's part as operation go. That's where my brother handle more financial banking side and anything related to the bank. So that's what we do, the difference between me and my brother. And overall, we have a central office where we manage accounting in-house. We have in Burbridge where we have a office to do manage the payroll and all the accounting and everything. We also have a merge with the Brian. He does find me all the new site and the location. So he's been with me for almost 2-3 years now, probably 4 years. Sorry, I take it back. So we are growing really good because of the way he find the site, and we look for that too. And we have a system. So that's how we run the business. And that's how our typical model with the operation and the team that we have. As far as our operation go, we also have where we have our second office in Kigo Harbor, where in Michigan, where we operate all the Dunkin' and all that. Here we we have in Burbridge. So that's every state we have a local director of the operation who handle all the operation. So
Thank you, Dipesh. That's great.
Thank
So,
you.
Yeah. So so why don't we go to the next slide? So I'm just going to do a quick overview of what we're going to see in a couple of minutes. We're going to have Chris Kelsevsky walk us through the site plan and the elevation in terms of what we're going to do. But this is going to be, it's a 26-acre development, and it's going to be centered on the corner, as Kelpesh was talking about, with our travel center for convenience store and restaurants and diesel and gas, and then truck parking. And then in addition to that, we're going to have services for the travel center with truck wash and truck repair and then have some QSR restaurants, and we're proposing a hotel along the frontage along Stucco. So take the next slide, and Chris Kalsevsky can walk us through the site plan and the elevations.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to make this presentation. Again, my name is Chris Kalashevsky. I'm a partner and principal in charge at WP Group, and we have done projects for Mr. Patel in Florida, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and out in Arizona. So been very much true what he's saying, very hands-on, very much involved in the design of the facility, as well as the products being offered. And then as you heard, he's very much involved in the actual personnel. So all three legs of the stool are there. There's good design, great products, and great people working for On Group that makes it all successful. And that's what we would like to bring here to University Park. This development, as you know, we're at the corner of Central and Stucco, and that would be, we are the northeast corner. And starting at the northeast corner, the first item that we have is the retail fueling facility, which has an inline canopy. It's called an inline 10. In the old days, or you used to have like 2 rows of dispensers, and you used to have to go around the car to get to the far dispenser. Everything's in a single row here, very efficient, very convenient, and very safe. And we know that those are the key ingredients that make this offering, a travel plaza, a success. And so we have the 10 dispensers in front. Behind that is a 12,000 square foot travel center, where within there we have 2 food offerings. There'll be a Jimmy John's, and we would have the Dunkin' Donuts. Each one would have a drive-through facility related to it. In addition, in the building, we would have truck drivers' facilities, such as the shower rooms, a laundry room, a separate lounge, a separate area for their type of products that they like to purchase for the trucks and such. And then also they have their own entrance through the north side of the building. And then just north of the building is what's called an inline, well, obviously inline, but 7-bay CFL or commercial fueling lane canopy. So that gives us enough room for the trucks to pull in, fuel, and then have another truck right behind it. Then they can pull forward, come into the store, and then they can decide whether they want to go parking, use the cap scale. We have 97 truck parking spaces to the very north of the property, at the northwest corner of the property. And this would be to help augment the sales of the travel center, quite frankly, and to provide a place for the truckers to take that federally mandated break. And so this would give them a great opportunity. And you may or may not know, but a retail petroleum facility is the highest tax generating offering on a square foot basis. And so we, of course, would like the professional truck drivers to come into the store and buy some products and earn more tax dollars for University Park. Just to the right, or to the east of the truck parking area, is a truck wash. And that is for the trucks themselves to go through completely with their tractor and their trailer all attached. So again, very convenient and very safe, and just an extra service that brings people to this intersection. Adjacent to that, or to the east, is a 25,000 square foot truck light repair center. By that we mean they would be doing oil changes, tire rotations, wiper blade exchanges. They would also do changing of the tires and such. Nothing major in the sense of doing transmission and all that type of work, but light truck repair, which is what the truck drivers come across as they're on the road. Now, moving down from there, we have our very nice detention facility, and we plan on surrounding the detention with very nice landscaping. And this detention facility will be able to be seen from all buildings on the site. And so really create a very nice atmosphere, very aesthetically pleasing atmosphere that kind of mimics the lake that you have in your community. Then we have on the very southern edge next to the travel center going east, we have 3 potential QSR offerings that can range from 1,500 up to 3,500 in square feet. What's depicted there is about 2,860 in square feet, 3 of them, all with drive-throughs. Then the next building on the right there would be a actual sit-down restaurant. So not a drive-through facility, somewhere where you're planning to meet your family and have a full meal, sit-down meal. So that would be the restaurant there. And then at the very furthest eastern edge of the property, we have an 18,000 square foot hotel that would be built on the property, overlooking the detention pond, overlooking also the rest of the development. So really a good cap in the feather in the cap, sorry, in terms of crowning this nice development. If we could go to the next slide, please. The next slide shows the the travel center building itself. This is named Speed Trek. And what we're trying to say with that is a trek is your journey. Now, your journey through life, your journey for that day, and we want to be part of your journey. And we want to make it a better part of your journey by making it convenient, making it safe, and offering you some great products. So the black kind of L-shaped thing is the roadway, and that's depicting the trek that we're all on. What we like to do, and I apologize, we got our directions a little bit mixed up on our titling of our sheet, so I apologize. But the front of the building, which is the south elevation, is the top elevation on this sheet. So working from left to right, we have our food offering, and that is a very nice, what's called illumination series panel. So very contemporary, showing some of the colors of Speed Trek in terms of the orange, the gray, and the white. And then showing some product offerings with those 3 POS signs below the nice black awning. As you move to the right, we're getting more into the heart of the C-store. Eventually to the right, we have the walk-in coolers, and behind that, all the truckers facilities. So on the right side, that building is anchored by Facebook. And so you have kind of this juxtaposition of the food, fun, food court, and then more of the required items and more of the stable items being shown in brick. So a little variety there. And then the elevation that we have there on the second line to the right on the page, we want to highlight something from University Park. We're showing you right now the lake and such, if there's another element that you would prefer, but we really want to show that we are not just a truck stop along a highway, but that we're very much a part of University Park and take pride in being in University Park and showing the offerings that University Park does have to offer. We, of course, will hire locally and such, and very much a part of the community fabric. And that's what we're trying to display by this mural on the wall there. And so all of it's very high quality materials. The top of the black is 28 feet. The top of the brick is 25 feet. And so the actual inside of the space is actually 18 feet clear. So you're not going to walk into something that has very low ceilings. It's going to be very open, very friendly, very aesthetically pleasing, and it's going to be a destination point because people are going to come here, visit it, see the whole development with the beautiful landscaping and the buildings and such, and really tell their friends you got to stop here. And that's our goal. And if you have any other questions, Chris Stark is also on the line. He's my partner, and he's the senior project manager for this project. And we're here to answer any additional questions after Dan wraps up the presentation. So I give it back to Dan.
Thanks, Chris. So we can flip through to the next slide. And this slide really basically shows our preliminary engineering for the site. As Chris talked about, we've got, significant detention facility. One of the challenges just to be thinking about as it relates to the site is that there's the pipeline that goes diagonally, from the northwest to the southeast part of the site. That makes it a little bit challenging to be able to get everything that we need to into the site. But other than that, it really works well. And as we get further along in the process, we'll work with your building department, your engineering department to make sure that the engineering is going to work on the site. But on a preliminary basis, we feel very confident that this site plan will be able to operate effectively. So why don't we switch to the next slide? So I think that we've done a pretty good job in some of the preliminary parts in terms of talking about the marketing on the site, but a few things that I like to highlight to the group. One is that this will be a Shell branded travel center. So as Kelpesh talked about, he works with all of the major brands. We already have an approval and an approved agreement with Shell to provide branding here and to provide Shell gasoline. So this will be a very competitive, world-class facility in that respects. Second thing is on the truck repair and the truck wash, we're talking to several different local and national brands to come in here. We're confident that we're going to be able to get somebody on those in those two areas. And they're very strong and important amenities to be able to make the travel center successful. As it relates to the restaurants, we've got commitments from Jimmy John's and Dunkin' for the interior part of the store. We've been talking to Arby's and Wendy's and Popeyes and several other major brands for the restaurant piece. Also Denny's and Cracker Barrel for a sit-down restaurant. And even if they come a little bit later within the process, just based on the activity and the economic generation that we're going to be providing and that's already there, based on the large industrial park that we're going into here, we feel that over time we're going to be able to fill out the rest of our development with all of these restaurants. On the hotel side, we have a commitment and we have a letter of intent agreed to with a major hotel brand. They're still trying to figure out which flag that they're going to use. Best Western is certainly a possibility, but if it isn't Best Western, it will be Hilton or some kind of a Marriott product or some other kind of major brand that wants to be here. There's just so much business activity along with the truck parking that we're going to have here, that there's going to be significant demand for the hotel, and they're very excited about coming to the development. Why don't you go to the next slide, please? So some of the things that we just wanted to talk about in terms of doing a development like this, it's a 26-acre parcel. We're going to be developing 100% of the infrastructure and all the work for all the site work all up front. So we're going to be out significant dollars to be able to make that work. That's with some of the users probably not coming in for several years, as I talked about before. The other thing is that as it relates to the overall development, some of the ancillary services that we're talking about, the truck wash and the truck repair, are really amenities for the overall site. But typically from an economic standpoint, they are years away from making a profit. So there's some subsidy that we need to create to be able to attract them, to be able to be here and be able to make the site work. Why don't we switch to the next slide? So one of the things that I think that we're probably most excited about as it relates to this development and this development for University Park is, you know, the entire development, once it's all built out, it'll be a $50 million development, of which we're going to be the majority of that as it relates to the travel center piece. And when the entire development is stabilized and so forth, we're looking at probably between sort of sales and gas taxes and hotel tax potentially here, and real estate taxes, of which this is in TIF, just my understanding. You're looking at over $1 million a year to University Park. So this is really going to be a generational really opportunity for you to be able to really increase your tax base and be able to do a lot of services for the community. That being said, as we talked about before, just based on the size and scale of everything that we're investing here in terms of doing it, we are requesting a $5 million incentive from University Park. And one of the key components, I think, to that incentive is that we are not looking for any money up front. This would be a pay-as-you-go note. And as we talked about here within the fiscal impact analysis, it really has two components. One component is the sales and gas taxes that we were talking about. And the second component is real estate tax sort of abatement. And what we propose is a sharing arrangement that that we would share 75-25 with all the dollars coming in all of these different components. And then and that would be true for the first $500,000 that would come to our development. And then after that, we would share 50-50. So on a stabilized basis, we would be looking at approximately $400,000 to the village and a little over $600,000 to our development. And based on these kinds of, you know, once we're stabilized, which will probably take us probably plus or minus 3 or 4 years, we figure it's going to be about a 10-year payout to pay out that note, and then 100% of all of these revenue streams will be going to the village, plus the ancillary services, obviously, that are providing services for the community, in addition to people that will be working in your community in the surrounding industrial tax base that you guys have done such an excellent job really building up over the last, 20 years or so. So I think we can switch to the last slide here, really. And just to kind of really wrap up, we really appreciate the opportunity and the positive feedback we've gotten thus far from the community. We're really roll up the sleeves guys. We are people that want to work and be able to fulfill the goals of the community while providing an economically stable and generational development for University Park. And myself and the rest of the team, Kelpesh, most importantly, my partner here on this deal, who's got extensive experience owning and operating these kinds of facilities. You are getting a very, very experienced partnership here that will be able to execute really on this development. So we're now welcome and throw it out to the trustees to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Trustees? Questions, anyone?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead, Trustee.
Mr. Patel, you mentioned that out of the several states that you have partnership with the developments, you had one in Illinois. Can you share with us where that location is in Illinois? I'd like to check it out.
Absolutely, yes. Matter of fact, Illinois, I have a close to one in Indiana as well. If you like to come see it, it's in St. John, Indiana. That would be the closest.
Okay.
From you, so I can get you the address. It's on a Wicker Avenue, 10861 Wicker Avenue, Wicker, Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana.
And we'll after tonight's discussion, we'll do a follow-up sort of email to the group that will have all the addresses for Kilpesh's local gas station convenience stores so that you guys can tour them, and we'd welcome the opportunity to obviously show you in person any of our
Yeah, and I can buy you lunch or something. You guys can come over here and try our, food and stuff like that.
I want to.
Okay, that sounds good. How many jobs do you expect a development like this to bring to the community? Rough estimate.
Sure. So between we're talking about at least 100 people. 100 plus, 100 to 120 people.
Okay. And then listening to the presentation, it sounds like the sit-down restaurant is not something that'll probably be in the immediate plan. Is that something that'll probably come a little later down the line? Is that how I heard it correctly?
Well, yes. At this point, we don't have an identified user to come in. So our plan is, assuming we can work through the village approvals, is to start construction about a year from now. Within that next year, we may identify somebody on the sit-down basis. If not, it probably would follow within the first 1 or 2 years of the development.
Okay. Okay, and then my final question is for our attorney and village manager. In your opinion, the proposal of the 75-25 split for the first portion to pay the money back, does that sound like something that makes sense in your opinion?
Go ahead, Ernestine. I'll let you go first.
Thank you. There is a bit of housework we have to do, and I've communicated with Mr. Wanda, so he's aware. We got to get that in place, that could be the initial start of this. But 75-25 would be the maximum, I think, with the years differential for an entity whereby we're getting special use, agriculture, zero, nothing to what this is. That's a substantial impact in terms of a plus advantage on the taxpayer side. That's a good concept. What is being planned is another good concept in terms of something that the village does not have that we're needing, and that is we're getting all these plants out here, and we don't have the necessary restaurants or fast foods. We may have 1, 2, but we do need that. And in particular, to get people and deal with longevity, a sit-down restaurant would be great. But a gas station for that area, as I've explained, we got to get a special use permit. And that has to be known to all, that we got to get a special use permit. And we've provided that information to Terrico and to Mr. Wander. And I would hope that within the next 2 weeks, we can begin to get a response back on that so we can definitely move forward. Because all what you've done is wonderful, but until we can get that special use permit through that process, we don't want all this to fall on deaf ears. And the special use permit and the procedure for the gas station and the hotel has got to go through the planning and zoning. And I wanted to make that clear as a matter of public record. So everybody, but the concept is wonderful. We can't wait to get it started. And maybe making this known to them openly could expedite our process of moving forward. Code enforcement have been alerted. They have been waiting, and they're on pins and needles, waiting for receipt of this information, Mr. Wander. And you all guys, we need for you to get this information into us. Mr. Stark and all of you guys and Mr. Cal, and maybe Mrs. Nelson Jaworski, you can put some fire under them. I got to get into it. We got to get it so we can move forward. Mr. Patel, I hear you. But until we get this paperwork, and I got to reiterate again, conceptually, you're doing exactly what we need. And your process, your procedure, your matching, your tax dollars, reciprocal coming back, utilization of possible enterprise zone, all of this is great. We're ready for you. Just get those papers. All right.
So I guess here's what I would say. Have I seen 75-25s before? Yes. But everything is negotiable. So once we actually have things on paper and we see, what does it look like? What does 75-25 look like? Once we have that, we can talk and we'll negotiate and see what we believe based on what the revenue stream will be, what's the best deal for both parties. So at 75-25, maybe, but I wouldn't tell you 100% for sure that that's, that's the absolute best or the absolute worst or anything with that, without seeing all of kind of what is the projections of what it's going to do. And I think that's what the village manager was trying. I think that's what she's looking for as well.
Okay, cool. And then my final question or comment is to the OM group. You have developments in a lot of communities. What is your history with giving back to the community in the sense of helping out programming or helping out with parks and recs, different things like that, as you become what we would like to be, a fabric in the community? Can you speak on anything that you've done for some of the communities that you have developments in as it relates to the youth specifically?
Basically, when you ask that, I have a Dairy Queen on Madison on Route 30. Grill and Chill, I own that. I own a Rosari in Madison. So community, I done a lot of stuff whenever fundraiser or something that needed help with anything. They do a lot of them. And I have done the dinner with them, the mayor, they knows me very well. And we operate for many years, Rosaries, like almost like 12, 13 years now. So, I'm very locally involved in Madison, and, they know my work ethic and they know how much involvement we have. I'm always there and very supportive, local police, local fire department. I mean, everyone knows that, OM group is a very supportive team when as far as goes, whatever the step that in our front, we always there in community, very much involved.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Trustee McFadden has a question. Once the project begins, how long should it take before it's complete?
So when we break ground on the project, the actual building time for the project will probably be between 8 to 12 months. I would say that we are looking for full build out, including the hotel and all of the restaurants, probably something like 3 to 5 years.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Lewis, I have a question. When it comes to contractors and with this day and age, where are we with diversity and inclusion?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, get quiet. Hello?
Yeah, where
you're not asking me, Trustee.
No, I'm asking the OM group.
Right, that's what I thought.
Oh, you're asking us. So I'm sorry.
Yes, where are we with
Trustee
diversity
Lewis,
and inclusion as far as
forgive me on that. So
with contractors?
So I will tell you what we have done in the past, and we're totally willing to, entertain these kinds of things as it relates to the development. Typically, when we have incentive agreements, which we've executed in other communities, we commit to hire union contractors. We like to be able to give local people an opportunity to be able to do that. We've done many projects in the city of Chicago, some of which have been with incentives, some of which have not. But they've always had a substantial, minority business enterprise, women business enterprise component. Like, for example, the one that we did that was the Jewel deal that was there, we followed, even though it was not with any kind of city incentive, we followed a 25 and 5 component as it relates to that. And to the extent that there are local qualified contractors, subcontractors, we are ready to sort of interview them and provide them with any kind of opportunity to be able to work in the development. So we understand that that's an important component.
Very important. It's very important.
We've embraced that clearly in the past, and we don't have any issue with trying to make that a part of our development as well. Particularly on our side, it's a little harder to commit to for my other users. But for sure on the travel center piece of it, we can make that kind of commitment.
Attorney Miller, my Wi-Fi, I had to reset it. Did I just, I think Trustee Franklin probably asked my important key question, the 75-25, if you could just go over that one more time, because that question's going to come out my mouth.
Yeah, so what I said is that, am I going to tell you that that's the absolute, until we know what the actual dollars are, and you guys as an opportunity as a board have a discuss, what does 75-25 mean? Is that something, when you review the numbers and you review will that be something that's to your benefit? Until we actually see what that is and we see some sort of a deal on paper, quite honestly, I can't tell you that that's great, bad, or okay. So what I would commit to the board is that as we get documents and we get drafts of agreements and we see what the dollars work with, that we'll work with we'll make sure that the board is fully apprised of what the dollars feel so that you guys can make an informed decision. I want to make sure you guys make an informed decision, and quite honestly, I'll tell you if I think you guys can do better, I'll let you know that. If I think, no, this is a good deal, in my opinion, a fair deal is something that's fair to both sides is what we all want to achieve here. So if it's something that's just perfect, great for one side and it's not great for the other side, then you don't end up usually having a deal. And it sounds like this is a project, at least from my conversations before the meeting and talking to people in my office about it, it sounds like it could be a great deal. But until we see those dollar figures, I don't want to tell you that 75-25 is bad, because I can't say that, but I'm not going to tell you it's great either without seeing the figures. So what I would tell you, Trustee Brooks, and to all of the trustees, once we have a kind of an understanding of what the figures look like, I'll make sure that you guys are informed and hold me to that. If I forget, say, Joe, hey, you told us we get that, and I can say, this is what it looks like for your purposes. And then you guys can make an informed decision.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Because as one of those trustees who was there to vote for TIF 7, I'll leave that at a later time that we all can discuss what number that, I spoke about, but I'm glad that they, gave us those numbers that they have. And the second question I would have, actually, I got maybe about two more questions. When we speak of numbers, how do you all feel that you would compete with, or that we as a village would compete with Moni and their little travel center that they have over there because we're actually at the 337 and they're at the 335, and in a way, in the scenario, they have Amazon right up the street plus a travel center right across the bridge. I think one advantage we have is that the travel center and Amazon is like right there on the same strip. How did you all do any, do we have any possible numbers outside what you showed us that we probably can compete, and that this would be that can flourish probably bigger than Moni to some extent?
Well, I think it's a very fair and a very good question. I think that one of the things that I think that is happening, and this is a benefit to your community, is there's a really, really robust and increasing amount of square footage that has gone off of this exit. So you've got a lot of proximity with no services at this point. And so I think that there is significant additional demand to be able to make this work at this location. That's one. Number two, and I toured it again today before this meeting, the existing travel centers that are in Moni, except for the robust gas station that's the Thornton's on the west side of the highway, are really old facilities, really rundown facilities. And just like you have a lot of brand new buildings here, this is going to be a brand new travel center. And I think we're really going to be able to capture a lot of that market. And that's going to be a real positive in terms of where we're at. I think that most of them, the Pilot and the old Petro, which is TA, which was an original gas city, I think 30, 40 years ago, haven't really been updated since. So I think that there's room for all of us, and we wouldn't be making this kind of sort of investment if we didn't believe that there was going to be significant demand. And we're also making a very long-term investment here in terms of building a client base and be able to do something that we think is going to be able to do well. It's part of the reason why we sort of requested the incentive, because this is going to be, as I talked about a few minutes ago, this is probably a 5-year build out. So it's just going to take a little while to sort of get off the ground and be really successful. But this is a generational investment that we really, really believe in strongly. And with a strong community partner, we believe it's going to be very successful. So if you want anything more specific, we're happy to try to provide some additional information. But that's where we've come through in terms of our own internal analysis.
Okay, because I considering everyone here knows I'm a highwayman. I'm scared to fly. So and I'm a little boy from the 70s, so I believe in 4 wheels and a CB radio. And believe it or not, way down in Southern Illinois, you will hear, hey, when you get to Chicago, give me the closest, what truck stop, and you'll be amazed. On the CB radio way down Mississippi, Arkansas, everyone says, don't forget to stop at the 335 up in Moni. And so I was wondering how significant what this would be with us, because I would like them start saying stop at the 337 University Park, So I was just wondering, would that gravitate for those the little money that, because apparently they have, and I think the trustees know where I'm going with this, Moni, which probably start off like we're starting on that 337. Look what they went. They started hotels, banks, and all those things. And
all those things.
The board decision is to, that we keep building out, coming back towards town. So, and you said that BP would be one of them, but TA wouldn't be another a business that would manage that shop, would it? Or
no, we're not. We're doing our own independent brand with Shell branded gas. So it's the Speed Track with Shell branded gas. It's likely that many of the other people that we're going to have within the development are going to be, national and international brands. But the actual travel center itself, is our own independent brand that we're building. And, one of the things that we are looking to do, is we are looking to spend money on advertising, to try to be able to, obviously we're going to, we're not the 335 yet.
Right.
So we're gonna need to, have some significant signage that's gonna, we're not right on the highway. I mean, we're right off. I mean, we're not far, but we're gonna need some significant signage that we're gonna invest in here that will be visible from the highway. And we're planning on, billboard advertising and other advertising to be able to make this really successful, because this is a major investment to try to be able to make it work.
Now, did you all also factor the possible with our large Amazon, possibly the truck movement in and out for gas too as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we think it's a big component because all these places, regardless of the trucks, obviously would drive the diesel. There's all these people that are working in all these facilities, right? And so there's significant traffic, for the gasoline in addition to the diesel. And one of the things that you should commend yourselves for, and it was very important for us as we were looking at this development, is that the traffic signal is in. That's really the kind of thing that we would have had to probably, if it was 2 years away, we would have had to wait 2 years before that was done. The other industrial can be able to get that done, but your community's hard work to be able to make sure that happened, and then it's all live, and then all the road improvements are in, make this a much more ready to go development today.
Okay, all right. I yield my time, and I just say to the board that way back in 2017, when we first talked about this, and actually the diagram that was presented, I could not have said it any better. This was exactly what was visioned back then, and the only thing now is that, bring it to light. So I yield my time, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I yield my time.
Thank you, Trustee Jenkins. I was unmuting myself. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for coming out and doing this presentation. I'm beyond excited about it. I mean, you have no idea. I live in a house with 2 truckers. My neighbors, I have several neighbors that are truckers that are like behind me, to the left of me, and they're very excited. This is going to make them extremely happy, especially with parking. My son has to park all the way in Shanghai and then drive his car. And so my husband goes as far as Mokina, and it's quite a few truckers here in University Park is where we are. And I can say that this is going to be a really good endeavor for our community. And I am just beyond excited. So hurry up, come on. My son is experiencing a major breakdown right now with Big Mert, and he has to go all the way to Lockport and get her fixed. And it would have been wonderful for her to be fixed in University Park. And so we are just excited. He's excited. And I just thank you guys for coming. You just don't know, it's going to bring so many different things to the community that is much needed. And I think that the residents will see that the board is moving forward. They're trying to bring things that we need into our community. We are a college town. We are comprised of so many different people from so many different walks of life. So I think this is one thing that is really truly needed. I thank you for presenting to us as a board and not doing this under an NDA. We are so grateful for this. And I just thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to you coming. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, then well, thank you guys. Manager E, we know the next steps. And
yes, I think they know the next steps.
Yep. And if there are no,
we're ready, and we heard the call to action on our part, and we're looking forward to getting our application in. At some point in the next few weeks, as soon as we can assemble everything and getting to the next step with the village.
Right. Awesome, Dan. Awesome. If that's it for tonight, while we're all here, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Moved by Brooks. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Second by the board. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I can't even vote.
All right. Thank you so much, Dan. Everybody.
All right, thank you. Take care, everybody.
Fantastic.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Have a great holiday, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
holiday.
Good night.
Great holiday.
And take care, everyone. Take care, Mayor. Take care, Miss Ernestine. You guys.
Good night.
See you soon.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Aye.